Okay, seasonal depression. What is it? Is it real? Of course it's real. We are going to be talking today about the winter time. If you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe replay this episode when it's wintertime for you. I think that we can start with this sermon by talking about the experience of the earth. And when we really tune into the earth's energy and we really understand that the earth is going through these changes, which are very cyclical in nature, we can really start to understand that, like, we are of the earth. We are deeply connected to the patterns of the earth. But because of our, I have to turn this purple light on. Hang on. Absolutely necessary. Okay, because of our, can you guys hear me okay? I feel like, I don't know if the microphone is picking up. I'll just turn it up like this. Okay. I'm so freaking hyped on those testimonials. I'm doing my best to, like, give a sermon. Okay. The earth itself is on a cyclical pattern of seasons. And that's just the energy that we can feel. That's just the energy that we can see. So when we are looking into our own energy, and our society dictates what we call a capitalist patriarchy, which means that we have to be in a certain state of being all the time. We are expected to maintain a certain level of productivity without having any emotions, without having any time off except, whatever's allotted to us, and without being connected to our true emotions. The way that our system and society is set up requires that we give the same amount of productivity no matter what the season is, no matter what the time of day. I mean, we are supposed to wake up every day at the same time, go to a job, be the same amount of productive, and go home. Nothing in nature is like that. It is a completely unnatural expectation that we would remain the same amount of productive with the same type of focus throughout the whole year. And what we can do is look at nature as an example. Nature takes the winter to rest, the spring to wake up. The spring isn't productive. The spring is just waking up. A whole quarter of the year is spent just waking up and experiencing the beauty of waking up. And then we have the summer, which is just productivity, but not in a laborious sense, just in a peaceful sense, just in the sense that, like, what comes naturally comes naturally. The fall is about enjoying the harvest and resting again and relaxing and going into a little bit of a preparation. And then the winter is about rest. So when we look at nature and we look at our society and we look at the expectations that we put on ourselves as humans, we can begin to see how messed up and out of alignment the expectations of our societal reality are that we put onto ourselves. I believe seasonal depression, in part, is the longing to spend more time in bed, the longing to spend more time reading, cozied up, watching TV, doing things that a natural human would do. If you have the time, if you have the freedom, not a lot of people do, but if you do have the freedom to spend more time napping, spend more time cozy in bed, spend more time drinking hot drinks and just resting, then take the advantage and do that and allow yourself to sink into this different feeling. There's a danger with depression if you have serious depression. I have had serious depression. So when I have negative emotions, as I have had this season, when you have frustrations or, you have so much you want to do, especially because we put our new year, very unnaturally so, in the dead of winter. Our new year should be aligned with spring. When we talk about what we should be doing for, when we're waking, it's that waking up energy of like, oh, what would I like to do today? That's the kind of energy that we should have for the year. We should make our New Year's resolutions in the spring, not in the dead of winter, because the dead of winter is when we are supposed to be resting and hibernating and maybe thinking deeply, but we don't have to start making plans yet. It's not time to start making moves. Do what feels naturally to you. If you feel naturally like making moves in the winter, don't not do it. I'm just saying, to feel the pressures of society during this time of year, to be around family members. A lot of us are queer or gay or weird, and our families don't understand us, and it can be very exhausting, even if our families are very loving, to be around our families because of their ignorance or because of their different way of thinking. So this is a very difficult time of year for a lot of people. The weather is asking us to stay in bed. Society's asking that we not stay in bed. The social expectations are that we spend time around people who might not understand us, and we're meant to spend a bunch of money and make huge plans when we should be saving our money. As far as when you think about a natural state of saving, of rationing out what you have so it lasts through the winter. So I think it's very unnatural and anxiety inducing to try to spend all our money on gifts for people at this time of year as well. I don't think that these things are beneficial. Of course, there are good things in it, and I think what you can do is just, as you go through these different parts of these winter months, really feel into how you feel about it, and really feel into, is this how I naturally feel? Am I pushing myself to do this? And what I was saying before about the danger of having serious depression and then dealing with seasonal depression, the fear is that you want to stay on top of it. And a lot of early Unicult ideology says, ignore your bad feelings, put them over there, ignore them, do not focus on them, focus only on the light. There is so much value to that, but also that is a form of spiritual bypassing, that is a form of repression. So when we are experiencing the seasonal depression, I'm going to ask that you feel it. And I know it can be scary if you're somebody who goes into depressive episodes, but feel it in the sense that you open up your consciousness to, what are your feelings? What part of you is feeling sad? What part of you is protesting? Listen to that voice. Say, what is it that you feel? Just feel it. Just figure out what it is. And it can be scary, but if you feel it and you stay focused on joy in the back of your mind, and you say, I know that I am naturally joyous. I know that I am naturally aligned with the light. I know that I am supported. I know that I'm loved. I know that I will get through this, but I'm going to feel it right now. And feel it for a time. You can, if you're really scared, you can write it on your calendar. Give yourself however many days to actually feel depressed and actually feel the feelings that you're feeling. Write it on your calendar and say, okay, I'm going to feel depressed for 3 days, and I'm not going to expect myself to do anything. I'm going to call in sick to work. I'm just going to feel it. And then after those 3 days, I'm going to go back to my life. And I think that you will find that you feel much better after doing that. Our strong emotions are messengers. Coffee K says, I have young children. How can I slow down our consumerism around holidays? I think you can really instill in them the power of you can make the holidays about whatever you want. You can say the holidays are about us really connecting with one another. The holidays are about us really honoring each other as we really are and appreciating each other. We can give each other gifts, sure, but that's not the main point. The reason why we give each other gifts is because this gift means I see who you really are, I see what you really enjoy, and I'm going to try to help you have more enjoyment in your life. So redirect that consumerism into a more true and authentic connection with your family, especially if you're a parent. And if you have kids and you need to feel this, this sad energy, give yourself whatever time you can, an hour, a night, 24 hours, whatever it is, figure out a time to just sit with your feelings and really feel them and validate them. It is winter time. We're supposed to be cozied up. We're supposed to be locking our doors and reading books, or whatever you like to do. Knitting. I find that I really want to do fiber arts in the winter. You're non-binary and your family doesn't know, you haven't told them at least. Yeah, it's very difficult. My family is supportive, but they won't, I don't think they're ever going to get my pronouns, So it's a simple sermon today, just remembering that we are in this winter time, remembering that it's okay to slow down. It's natural. It's okay to breathe into it. It's okay to feel what you feel. And if you trust, just trust that you will come back to joy. Trust that your emotions are messengers telling you something important, and explore them. You can make Christmas about activities and rituals rather than opening gifts. Great advice. What? I don't understand how it's only 10:30. What an incredible camp church we had today. Just a wild ride. Always remember this too shall pass, CD Magic says. Great advice. I don't know how my hair looks this good. I just put it in a bath bomb. I didn't even wash it. Hi, Van Wells. Does anyone have any questions since we have some extra time? Happy to take questions about this time of year, about these strong feelings about, the holidays, navigating the holidays. We had, in the Unicult Discord, we had some really good questions about navigating alcohol during the holidays. If your family drinks a lot of alcohol and you don't want to, how do you navigate that? And there were some really beautiful suggestions that came through in the Unicult Discord chat about drinking energy drinks or doing mushrooms, or just drinking water and figuring out how to navigate those situations. People desire to integrate positive vibes with your music. This is your first Sunday with Unicult. Welcome! Yes, Camp Church is great. People just keep coming back because it's such a fun time. I wish Camp Church was all day. I grew up in a religion that didn't celebrate holidays, but now as an adult, the thing I wish I had during the time was family moments. I get invited to holiday celebrations now, and there's a lot of family intimacy that you feel like you never got. Oh, yeah. And not every family has that, of course. I want to give another tip for the holidays. This is something that I kind of failed to do. My family was out here for Thanksgiving, and it was so special. But we don't realize how much energy we have, how much potential we have as spiritual leaders in our family. So when you go into your family situation, your family gatherings, blast the light. My family can be a little bit sardonic and they can be a little bit cruel to one another. Like we kind of take jabs at one another, and then it's not mean, it's just how we communicate. And the tone kind of gets set. And so when we're all together, it's like one person will say something kind of like that, and then you want to get them back, and then it kind of turns into this kind of vicious energy. It's not mean, but it's not light. It's not love. It's not like the purest thing. And I remember last Christmas I went home and I was like, I'm just going to be the light. I'm just going to blast it. And I'm just going to be so nice and so loving and so appreciative. And I'm not going to fall into that sardonic, like little jabs. And it changed the entire holiday. Everybody was following my lead because I think nobody really wants to do that. We're trying to connect with one another, and that's why it comes out. But if you wake up every day, you're with your family and you're like, I'm going to be the light. I'm going to make everybody feel loved today, and you blast it out, you will set the tone for the entire exchange of the holidays, and you will really change the family dynamic that you have. You have a lot of power in this way. How do you keep your family from giving you presents you don't want? Great question. I get a lot of presents I don't want all the time, which is a weird problem. You can have a wish list, you know. You could, I mean, it's just about communication. You can also just think of ways to like pass your gifts on to other people. That's what I do. There's someone who sends me pretty much a gift a day that I didn't ask for. And some of them are very nice, and some of them are not things I want. And so I figure out how to redistribute those gifts to people who really will appreciate them. We will talk about eating disorders soon. I would say the main thing is like listening to your body and like loving your body. Cannabis really helped me with my eating disorder. I would starve myself for days on end, and then I would have cannabis and I would be like, why am I doing this? You can also redirect your diet to be more aligned with things that you find healthy. I think like if you have you know, if you want to like, if you're binging and you want to binge, like somehow get your brain to think like, oh, I'm binging on you know, like dried fruit, and like just eat dried fruit, and then you'll be like, well, that wasn't like the worst thing I could have eaten. I think it helps to not buy unhealthy things from the store too, because then you don't have to go through the whole cycle of feeling guilty and eating them and then feeling bad and then wanting to throw up and all that. If you can surround yourself with good foods and just meditate on each meal and say, this is nourishment that I need for my body, that I need for my brain, and I'm so happy to have it because I love my body, I love my brain. Just brainwash yourself with those thoughts. Just think them over and over again. How do I work on building your self-esteem and creative growth? These are big questions. I quit Christmas, no gifts, nada. I will help eat turkey and build snowmen. Coffee, different forms, helps me learn about CPTSD. In Unicult, we officially celebrate the solstice, but it's very difficult. Like I've worked in retail, and they will not give me the solstice off, even though it's my religion. So, you know, I think where I'm at now, they would, but it's a difficult time because of Christmas coming up, especially if you work in retail. But and your family might not understand it either. But the solstice is a great time to celebrate, even if you have to celebrate what the solstice means on Christmas. That can really be helpful to give a little bit more meaning to the holiday, because what the heck is Christmas? it's madness. You're on Suboxone, so you cannot smoke weed because you have to drop for treatment. Yeah, that makes sense. Do some rituals of loving your body. I mean, it depends on where your eating disorder is coming from, what the root thoughts are. Follow your thoughts. Figure out what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get from it, you know, and then figure out how to give yourself that without the toxic behaviors. Remember, I do have 2 spots open starting next week for Create Your Dream Life. If you want to create your dream life, you can sign up for a consultation on my website. Please do not sign up for the consultation if you just want to have a chat with me. That will make it harder for other people to get the help that they need. If you want to just have a chat with me, this is a great platform. You can also send me an email. We can have a chat. That can happen. I am very busy, but I can make time if you really want to talk about something that's fun and not Create Your Dream Life. But please do not use the Create Your Dream Life platform for that. If you are interested in Create Your Dream Life, it's a 7-week-long program where we focus on your issues. We've had some incredible results in people's lives. I mean, like Erin said, it's not easy. It is challenging. It does ask you to really dig deep and do things that you have been putting off. But if you're ready to really transform your life, if you're ready to really step into your authentic life and your authentic power and be on the path of love, of self-love, and of love of others, like that's what we have to offer. Remember, we have our Cyber Monday sale going on Etsy. It is live. I did make it live in this camp church. And if you don't have the energy to be the light with your family, boundaries. Put your beautiful boundaries up. You can even decorate them. put your walls up and put your Christmas lights on them and just feel so happy that nothing but love and light is going to get to you. So you don't have to interact. You don't have, I mean, really, if you have to set your boundaries, set your boundaries. Thank you for everyone who called the hotline. Thank you for all the viewers. Thank you all for joining me for Cam Church. We will see you next Sunday.